This is Benny. As long as you have him by your side, nothing can ever hurt you.
Not even the demons in the hallway?
Apart from them.
I'm in the area with a buyer on Monday. It's getting quite lonely. It's more of a family home.
I have to get this finished.
Lots of people are saying you're already finished.
You haven't evolved. I can't send my creative director to New York in a Goonies t-shirt.
We'll be friends forever.
I was curious if we're going to be even close on this. That, you know, Larry's going to either love this movie or hate it. I'm not sure exactly where he's going to land.
Well, I'll tell you. I really, really, really enjoy Benny Loves You. I want to say that I love it, but I have to confess there are some problems with Benny Loves You. But we just finished just tearing a strip out of a no-budget, incompetently executed movie. Benny Loves You was basically made by this one guy, Carl Holt. He wrote it, he directed it, he did the special effects, he starred in it, he made the music for it, and he spent 5 years of his life doing it, basically with his friends and by himself. And when you consider that, for that, I love the movie. Like, is it over-reliant on montages? Yes. Does it sometimes does it sometimes confuse like dark comedy with just darkness in such a way that like it could almost be a Canadian independent film? Yes, but to me that's not a strike against it necessarily. It's a familiar setup in that it's sort of a sad sack kind of Shaun of the Deadish type of character. He needs to get his life together. He needs to get his relationship together. And he's suffering failure after failure. And we want to see him have a win. But instead of him having to do battle with a bunch of zombies, in an attempt to reboot his life, he throws away all of his childish things, including his beloved best friend stuffed toy, Benny, who takes it, well, a little bit personal. It says on the box, don't throw him out, but actually the truth of it is that Benny 100% loves his owner. Like, he loves his owner. So anytime his owner's got a bad feeling towards someone, that person gets killed in a very amusing, silly way. And then Benny presents himself to his owner and says, ha! And every single time, I laugh. Every single time it happens, I laugh. But it is one joke repeated over and over and over again. And again, that should be a slight against the movie, but it's so tactile, it's so handmade. I can't not appreciate all of the effort that went into it. I love how weird and individual and dark it is. When I was talking in Cabin in the Woods, where I said the eccentricities of that movie were deliberate, the eccentricities of this movie are not deliberate. They're just wholesale who this guy is. And I love it for that. Like, yes, there are things that I can pick apart. Yes, there are no physics to this movie at all. Yes, some of the blood is a little more cartoony than I would like. But I can't not love this movie. And it's so small, like, in scale and distribution, that all I want to do is sing from the mountaintops. Everybody buy a copy of Benny Loves You, because this is exactly the kind of horror movie that deserves to be supported, unlike Sorority Party Massacre, which should just be erased from the record. Everything that was terrible about the previous movie is that this is the opposite world that we're in here. It's pure charm. Maybe not for everybody, but I am going to give it a full-throated endorsement. So that's where I land on Benny Loves You. So I feel like we're in a similar place, but
Yeah, I'm the same as you, and I was concerned maybe you might. I wasn't sure. I was looking forward to seeing what your thoughts would be. 100%. This is a movie that knows what it is, and it says this is what we're going to be. If you look at the poster for this movie, or watch a trailer, and you're still going to watch it, then you're going to know if you're going to like it. Then, if you don't like the poster and don't like the trailer, saying, "Well, this kind of movie is not for me," then you won't watch it. But 100%. I loved this movie before I seen it. I saw the idea for it, the ridiculousness of this cute little teddy bear holding a knife with an Elmo type voice. Oh, it's so charming and funny, but it's also, you're right, very dark at times. But yeah, I celebrate this, and I would definitely push people towards this if that's your kind of thing. It's
when we say it might not be your kind of thing, it's not necessarily because of the low budget or anything like that. Like, it opens with a kid being killed. A dog gets killed and its body is a prop for like an extended sequence of the movie. Like, if you have a problem with this type of humor, this movie is not for you. Like, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be for everybody, but it's definitely in my wheelhouse.
And it's definitely silly too. I mean, the poster, like I said, it's a cute teddy bear with a knife. And if first of all, there are people that say, "Well, stop it! This is silly."
Stop that.
I did clock that too, where this movie did two things that you don't really do and get away with in movies very often, and that's slap a child in the face for a laugh, which they did, and I laughed during it just because I thought, whoa, and kill a dog for a laugh, and as you said, use a for a fucking prop for extended, And the way that dog dies, they made no attempt at all to make it look anything realistic. All of a sudden, this dog was made out of such a clear, whatever, like clay or something. But they didn't try and hide that. They just thought, no, this is what the dog looks like now. And I loved it. That's what I loved. I thought it was great. I love that the movie has no physics. How Benny walks like a stuffed animal would walk when you're a kid. It's just, just moving along.
It's almost like he's being held by an invisible hand that's sort of flopping him about. Yeah.
Yeah, and it holds a knife, but it has no grip. It has no fingers. I don't know how it's doing this or any of the things that Benny does.
Sometimes he flies through the air. I also like that sometimes mostly he's entirely CGI, but every now and then he's very Muppety for a couple of shots.
And when he's CGI, it blends too. Actually,
he looks like a stuffed animal for sure.
It was hard to kind of pick out the scenes that weren't really there or not. And some strange musical montages you hinted at of them having silly old fun together with this
montage cleaning up the bodies, a montage for the romance sequence, a montage to prepare for the fight, a montage for Benny to prepare for the fight. It gets a little bit much. And I do think that the romance doesn't have a lot of heat to it between the chemistry isn't maybe necessarily there for the two actors. But other details I just have to love. Like the woman in the attic. There's a woman that gets chased up into the attic by Benny, and they keep cutting back to her. For a while, she's too scared to leave. For a while, I think she is locked up there. And eventually, she's just a skeleton in the attic. She's just like, so absurd. Such a strange inclusion of the movie. And like, that's part of its appeal. It's too weird for mass appeal. It's way too dark at times for a lot of people to find it funny. And it's also kind of too ridiculous to take seriously or find scary in any way. So it's just really violent and really weird. But I really like that. It's a specific meal.
Benny Loves You sounds like it's a movie that's kind of made for Scott and Larry.
Right.
I think this would be one where, hey, let's meet on a Friday night. Let's have 4 or 5 drinks and watch this, and we'll just have the best time ever, probably, right? And I think that's our kind of movie that we should watch together. So, yeah, 100%. I endorse Benny Loves You.
Surprising levels of violence too. There's an office massacre that takes place where Benny takes out like 10 people in this room, and the sort of secondary villain of the piece gets his stomach cut open and a vacuum hose stuffed into him and has his like insides vacuumed out of it. Like it's. Did you ever see Stitches? like
Was it the
clown slasher
clown
movie?
Yeah.
With the
yeah.
way over the top kills, like that kill is right out of Stitches, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think that there is a bit of a tonal thing in that, like, there's different levels of the humor, and there's a little bit of the satire of the sort of, you know, Arrested Development, stuck in childhood, needing to make a change in his life, but then it's like really wildly over the top splatstick. And then it's sort of situational office comedy, and then it's like hiding the bodies from the neighbors. It doesn't really sort of pick a lane in that way. It's kind of, it's funny, but it's funny in a way that's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, you're laughing at kind of the mess that this is, sort of, too. It's like, what? Come on. And
Charmingly
I do
messy.
appreciate at one point, they kind of acknowledge the silliness of it, you know, because you've said this before in Chucky movies or Killer Doll movies, where it's, why doesn't anyone just, like, pick up the doll and, you know, it's a doll? Because somebody, I don't remember the exact quote, but they acknowledge that. It says, isn't he just a stuffed animal? Yeah. He's only, like, 3 feet tall. No, he's not. 2.5. And,
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
And they move on from it. They no, he's not 3 feet. He's 2.5. And oh shoot! Now, and it's almost like it's even worse now.
But like when he's being shot by those air pellets, and it's in slow motion, and all of his stuffing is being blown out of him, it's strangely impactful, absurdly impactful in his.
And so the movie does start with, I guess, setting some rules, and it shows with another child unrelated to this movie, another toy kind of unrelated, but it shows that when you disregard your childhood toy and throw it away and no longer need it anymore, there is some sort of magic that comes with it where the smoke appears, it's neglected, and now it wants to come back and get you for that. In a really kind of cool opening pre-credit sequence, which is almost, I can see it being almost its own little mini movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun, and then that continues on later in the movie. There are other toys, of course, that
his love interest's doll shows up.
And
yeah,
and it turns into just this crazy like battle of everything near the end.
We're going to talk about Joe Dante later on. Joe Dante did this movie called Small Soldiers. There are sequences of this movie with the robot fight and like the different toys fighting each other that were kind of reminiscent of that. I mean, the movie knows that it's ridiculous, but it keeps a surprisingly straight face in spite of it, which is also charming. But yes, I think that you have to lean into this one. You got to meet this movie halfway. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I feel like I've been brief on it, but like, I think if you hear this review, you kind of get the idea of what this is, and you've either already seen it and you love it, or you're like, I don't know how that slipped through my fingers. So.
Yeah, well, this is one that when I heard of it, I thought, why have I never heard of this before? Well, obviously, because it's not a mass marketed type movie, but yeah. I had to seek it out. I had to find it. I think it got it at the lobby here in Edmonton, where I got my copy, and I'm happy to have that and watch that again and again.
I would spread the word about the movie, and I would keep an eye on this director. I'm hoping that it gets enough cult status that someone gives him some money and it won't take 5 years for him to follow it up. I wouldn't necessarily say I want a sequel to Benny Loves You, but I would like to see what else this guy does, because he's got a really weird sense of humor, and like there's something here, Scott.
I liked the dog thing. I mean, because it's not
so out there.
Oh, I love it. What a fun movie. Okay.
Sold.
Watch it.